Hey there, internet friends. Brad Johnson from Song Production Pros here, and today I have a product review of the Infinity 2 by Pigtronix. Is it worth your time and attention? Well, that depends. If you're looking for a great songwriting and sketch tool that is very easy to use, doesn't have a whole lot of knobs on it, then this pedal is for you. Now, to be completely honest with you, I'm not a huge loop pedal person. Sweetwater was actually kind enough to send me this pedal to demo and review, and I'm really glad that they did actually, because it really fills a gap in my particular workflow that I didn't really know I needed. And that is, I do primarily most of my writing into my computer. So if I want to get instant feedback on what I'm playing, or if I want to do layers and arrangements, I do that into my computer and I go into my DAW, and that's how I work. However, I'm starting to realize that, with the computer, you have your browser tabs, you have your DAWs open, and it can get really distracting, and actually it can zap your creativity. There's actually studies on this that shows that, your ability to actually go deep and get really creative is really minimized by distractions. We are constantly burning brain calories on everything that we input into our mind. And every time we just burn a little bit more, we lose that energy and that ability to focus on the creative work. So the Infinity 2 Looper is a really great pedal to take me and to take you outside of your computer, put this into your signal chain, and be able to just kind of focus on playing your guitar with your amp and some pedals, get rid of all the other technology and really live in that analog domain and reconnect with your instrument in a way that I know that I used to do before, the advent of a laptop and being able to basically do whatever you want within the computer. And it reconnected me to being able to just play my guitar, have fun with it, get lost in that creative process, as well as be able to get that instant feedback from the looper itself, as well as being able to do some different arranging. While I do love the Infinity 2 Looper as a sketch pad, it doesn't do everything. There's a video by Pigtronix that shows a gentleman using the Infinity 2 Looper, and the composition that he does and the way that he uses this thing is expert level. I will actually put a link up here that you can check out. However, for us mere mortals who may not do the perfect pass every time, or just not sure what to play next, the Infinity 2 Looper really is limited in its ability to erase and undo and kind of go back. You really need to nail your performance. There is an undo function in the modes here. However, when you engage that mode, you totally get rid of the second loop channel, which I think is kind of unfortunate, because that second loop channel helps you to build upon your arrangement and kind of hear how, a verse would go into a chorus and be able to kind of get that instant feedback to see if you're on the right track and if it sounds good. Because when you're playing live and you're playing the part, sometimes it sounds good, but then when you hear it back, you realize that maybe certain notes within the melody you're playing or certain chords you're playing just aren't quite right. You don't get that until you hear it on playback. And same with transitions into new parts. So having that second loop is, in my opinion, kind of vital to this pedal. And unfortunately, when you engage the mode button, you disable it. You can only use the undo to build your loops on the first loop channel. But with that said, this thing is incredibly easy to use. It sounds great. There's some really useful little features like the decay, which actually will duck the previous loop to make sure that your loops just aren't at all the same volume and starting to become a jumbled mess. Has basic connectivity. You got 2 ins, 2 outs. So this is a stereo looper. So if you want to run it out into a stereo channel, or if you want to put in stereo effects, you can do that. It also has a external foot switch, which I do not have, that I believe would actually help with making this pedal a lot more usable, just because this little mode button up here is a small, and sometimes it's hard to kind of navigate as you're playing. And with the pedal itself, you can easily stop your loop. You can do the undo, and I think it has some other functions as well, just to make it a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more user-friendly. So I am going to just kind of do a quick demo of the Infinity 2 Looper, just kind of how I would use it. I'm not like a power user by any means. I'm not going to be building out these crazy complicated compositions. I'm just kind of using it as feedback and a sketch pad. As like I've said many times over, I'm going to be recording using the Supro amp. So that's what I'm miking up with this 47 FET replica. This is a condenser microphone, nothing fancy. All right, let's jump in. All right, so like I said, very short demo. Infinity 2 Looper by Pigtronix, absolutely worth it if you're looking for something that'll take you out of your computer, give you something to sketch on, and just create better guitar compositions. The way I'm going to be moving forward using this thing is writing in the analog domain. Once I get a loop that I'm really happy with, I'm going to then transfer that into my DAW so I can save it to then build upon it and actually create my song and do everything that a DAW can do really well. If you want more thoughts on what I think of the Infinity 2 Looper and a bigger breakdown of all the functions and knobs and just like a more traditional review of this pedal, go to my blog that I wrote in the description below. That'll take you there so you can do some further investigation and get more details on this pedal and how it can work for you. I hope that you enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts in the description below. If you've used this, if you've been thinking about using it, or maybe some other alternatives that you like, I would love to hear your thoughts. So until the next one, have a great day.